Hello, my beautiful collective. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dee. If you're returning, welcome back. Let's have you back. So this is going to be a general message. All my readings are timeless. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Not try to force a story to fit your narrative. If you feel called to book a personal reading with me, all that information is in the description box below, okay? So I feel like this reading is definitely going to be about like higher level soulmates, soul tribe, um very high frequency people, um because I kept getting like friendships, and I did a really amazing love reading too a few days ago, so that'll be linked at the end of this reading, or you could just check out the timeless playlist. It's the most recent love reading at the time of this reading. um it just feels like a lot of people are clearing out heavy karma from past lives with certain soulmates as they like walk into your life. And it feels like Atlantis could resonate for some of you. Some of you were definitely like high priests, high priestesses, shamans, something very spiritual, very high frequency in a past life. Where like, and I when I was shuffling for the energy, I saw the sun and the moon. So that's very like I said, it's very like deeply karmic, and it's also very balanced, very yin, very yang, which has like been very deep in the energy as well. It just feels like whatever pops up in the energy today is what pops up, but it's usually whatever download I get. But it just feels like soul tribe. It feels very platonic. It could be romantic, but like I said, I just did a love reading, so I don't think so. But I did put the love oracles out here just in case. But this just feels like two energies, a very deep, very high frequency, very spiritual friendship, that's going through something very karmic, like a karmic cycle between the two of you is ending. Some of you might even have already met in this life, and for some reason you might have disconnected because of that deep karma that needed to be cleared out. Um, but that's just what I'm feeling. I feel like this is a very deep, very spiritual, very high frequency friendship, in energy today. So let's just see where the reading does take us. If it takes us somewhere different, cool. But I feel like that's where this reading is going. So let's see. Angels and guides, ancestors, high beings, protect energy to us. This reading for the collective. Please get energy surrounding the collective spirit. Thank you. So we have the fledging number 1. We have hope number 27. And we have belonging number 41. Yeah, we have forbidden number 18, and then we have deceit number 38. See, I think, and then we have the moon number 15. This is YouTube breaking whatever this very hard, like very intense karmic cycle is. Whatever this is, it could just be. It feels like communicating a misunderstanding. High priestess of water. You could have heavy Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in your chart. But that's what this feels like. It feels like a complete misunderstanding about something, but let's see. Please give me clear honest messages for the collective side good spirit. Clear honest messages for the collective side good spirit. Thank you. 6 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. Queen of Wands, Seven of Wands reverse, and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. If you had a falling out with a friend, whether it's you or them, there's a release coming, like an apology. Seven of Wands. If you had them blocked or they had you blocked, they might be unblocking you soon. Okay, we have Justice in the reverse, the Six of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Hangman, Pisces energy, and the Five of Wands. Yeah. The Page of Swords in the reverse. I'm hearing like something didn't go according to plan. And it could be that, and I've picked up on this energy before on my channel. I can't remember exactly when, but I have. Where it's like something within this relationship, the karmic debt, whatever it could be, like it was prolonged. Like everything is in divine timing, right? But sometimes we cause ourselves delays because we don't see things as clearly as we should. And then we get upset with ourselves for not seeing it for what it was, you know, at the time. Because sometimes we're so deeply, as humans, just deeply into it, deeply into our emotions about certain things, or deeply into our ego about certain things, that like after a while and after time passes and we have time to think, we're like, oh, why did I handle that situation the way I did? I feel like because someone in a situation took a long time to realize what the karmic debt was, what the karmic debt like situation is, it just feels like they're kind of beating themselves up like, man, Spirit was trying to tell me this and I didn't see it for what it was. And I spent so much time, like with the Page of Wands, for me, it's like inaction, like not taking that first step of like clarity and truth, like feeling like knowing that something is wrong and then not doing anything about it. You know, you could have woken up to the fact that Spirit was trying to tell you one thing and you interpreted it as another thing. And then you just kept, like, even though you were starting to wake up to it or like get a download about it, you're like, no, I was right the first time, you know, instead of like giving that download, that other download, like some thought, is what I'm getting. Yeah, Four of Cups. There's some disappointment here, but let's start clarifying. Spirit, please clarify the Seven of Wands reverse and the Page of Cups. Excuse me, in the theme of the reading. King of Cups. Seven of Wands, clarified in the Seven of Wands to the Ace of Cups. The Hangman, Pisces energy. The Eight of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, the Emperor, Aries energy, the Knight of Cups. Yeah, the Knight of Swords to the Ten of Swords. And I see the Ten of Wands behind that. The Five of Cups. Yeah, this is about... The Hangman is definitely awakening, but it's also a pause as well. Someone for a long time held back a lot of emotions. But the King of Cups in reverse, I'm not even getting like emotional like immaturity, because that's usually what the King of Cups is in the reverse. I'm just getting like, and I know the King of Cups upright is usually like kind of holding back in emotions, not really showing how emotional and like vulnerable you could be, even though you have a lot of love. This is giving me more so that energy of like holding back, wanting to have a new beginning, wanting to start over, wanting to have like a conversation, a release, but then not going for it with Eight of Wands in reverse. And it's like, now there's a confidence to give after going through this like painful ending with the Ten of Swords. Yeah. Not speaking your truth to this person, whether it's you or the other way around. It feels like the energy that's here, the truth has been wanting to be spoken, but at the same time, they were held back because it could be ego. Okay. It could just be because I'm getting like two very like very spiritually aligned. Like I said, probably in past life you might have been like high priest, priestesses, shamans, whatever. You know, just like very spiritual, very awakened, very high frequency. And you are in this life too. Like I get that. But it just feels like sometimes with our spirituality, there does have to be logic behind it. And it can't always be like very 5D frequency. Sometimes you have to bring that energy to the 3D, like very earth energy, like Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn type energy. Especially if you're a water sign, because there's a lot of water so far. We tend to be, because I'm a Pisces, we tend to be very like in tune in the depths of our souls and very high frequency and la la land as water signs. And sometimes we get so caught up in that that we have to just like bring ourselves down. And so I'm a Taurus rising. So I definitely know like as a Pisces sun to a Taurus, and I'm a Gemini moon. So a lot of me is just like trying to be practical and then also trying to be like sane, you know, like just thinking realistically at times. And I catch myself in my Pisces la la land. And then I like get into my Taurus energy and bring myself back to like touch some grass. So it feels like some person, and they could definitely be a water sign or just have heavy water in their chart, but it just feels like someone was very much in the depths of their soul and just taking everything as a sign from spirit, but not putting too much logic behind it at the same time. Like I know that we could get those signs, those synchronicities, and kind of run with it. Someone could have been experiencing psychosis as well, like spiritual psychosis for a little bit there, and it might have been like taking some time to snap out of it. But I feel like there's a release happening. There's clarity happening. There's an apology that wants to be said or just a conversation to be had to see if the friendship can move forward, which it probably can, we'll see. Or to just close out this cycle and, you know, move forward and move on, you know? But I do feel like a conversation is going to be had. In the current energy, we have the Six of Wands reverse. Spirit, please clarify that for me. This is it with the Ace of Cups there. It does give wanting to start over. Ten of Pentacles. So we have the Sun, Leo energy, and then the Ten of Pentacles. The Five of Wands to the Knight of Pentacles. A lot of major arcanas. So this is very, very serious. Yeah. But the Six of Wands in reverse is giving very much like someone thought that they were coming from their soul in a situation, but in reality, it was very ego based. And it just feels like for a while, someone was very out of tune with their emotions, with their soul. Yeah, the Hermit in reverse, Virgo energy. You have heavy Virgo in your chart, especially with the Ten of Pentacles there. But it feels like someone was out of tune for a while. But we also saw the Lovers, right? So we have Gemini energy, Aquarius energy, and then more Leo energy with strength. I feel like someone's heart is really like bursting open. It just feels like the blindfold has come off. Like someone is seeing a situation for what it really is. Someone has found clarity, found truth. I feel like it's like a split thing. Like someone was very like in a delusional energy, and then someone was very like deeply in ego, like very much like it's this way or no way type. Like I want to say like type shit, but that's just what it feels like. It feels like very half like someone who tried to be deeply spiritual and what was happening, but it went to Delulu, and then someone else was like very much in their ego, and it was like it's either this way or no way. And then all of a sudden, there's some type of clarity. There's some type of truth. It's like you had got a sign from spirit with the Page of Wands that put something in perspective for the both of you. It's like I said in the beginning, I said very yin and yang, very sun and moon, right? It feels like there couldn't be growth also financially because of the state of this relationship. There might have been like a money block or like I feel like a money delay as well, especially with the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, because it's not giving me like not prospering in your divine purpose, but it's giving like a standstill almost, like a small pause, or like maybe you went a few months without, like if you own a business, you went a few months without anybody buying anything. And it was because of this block here, not seeing something clearly, having to change your perspective on something, really pausing and seeing how you were supposed to pour your love, your heart into this friendship, right? But because we were either very like deep in our emotions about it and not being able to see clearly, or deep in our ego about it and not being able to see clearly, things in your life started to pause. And you were sitting here wondering why spirit was doing this for you. For some of you, it might even have something to do with your spiritual gifts. Maybe you can feel the way you felt before. Like if you're like clairvoyant, you just couldn't feel what spirit was trying to tell you anymore. You couldn't hear your spirit guides for a while. You felt out of tune, even if you were meditating and doing everything you needed to do. But because whatever spiritual lesson is here with this person wasn't getting like the spiritual growth or doing the shadow work in regards to this, it was causing conflict within self, conflict within your business, conflict in growing in some way, shape, or form in your life. You know, I'm just using like owning your own business as an example, because owning a small business is hard, and you might go sometimes without anybody purchasing anything. Some of you went through a block with that because the shadow work was delayed in this situation about the what you were supposed to learn from like this separation, or what you're just in general what you were supposed to learn from this. There was a delay there until you had the awakening that you were supposed to have in regards to this friendship. But there's balance coming, because now I feel like both parties are having enlightenment here because of the pause. I feel like it's like a fire and earth sign. I mean, not earth sign, but maybe earth sign, but I feel like fire and water sign. Like, that's what I'm feeling. It doesn't have to be that, but it's something to that regard. It's like certain things were delayed, certain things weren't prospering the way you wanted because of this conflict with this person. It could even be like your vibration. You just weren't vibing. Like, you weren't, like, you were lowering your frequency at some point because you weren't doing the shadow work that needed to be done for this friendship to heal, for you to heal within yourself, to learn to mirror. Because definitely this energy is a mirror for you. Oh, some way, shape, or form. They mirrored something back to you that you were accepting in your life, and vice versa. You were a mirror for them as well, some way, shape, or form. And it's all about learning that lesson. And the energy surrounding had the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Please clarify that for me, Spirit. Four of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. The World. The Six of Cups. The Hierophant, Taurus energy. The Page of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands. The Five of Swords. The Empress. Have you on the Taurus energy? The Eight of Pentacles. This energy knows how spiritually aligned you are with the Hierophant there. They know that the both of you bring growth within each other. And they know there's like a karmic lesson here. Something that isn't healed. Even if like they're not like super spiritual or anything like that. Like they know that something is off, and they want to clear that out. They filled the block. Like they could definitely, like I said, a money block, something, wound something, but they want to release it because they realize like something isn't growing in their life, and they know it's connected to you in some way. It feels like they're making a decision to clear this karma out, whether they know it as those words or not. But they know, like, divinely guided, like I said, high frequency. I feel like their spirit guides are talking to them very heavy about you. And I feel like for a long time, they might have been ignoring that. Like, it also feels like my voice is going out. Like, their throat chakra could definitely, like, be blocked. Because when they think about you, they try to put you out of their mind, is what I'm getting. But the Empress is giving me like a lot of growth, a lot of expansion. Like I feel like they learned so much from you. Like it feels like when they sit back and think about your friendship, however it might have been, because for a lot of you, you already know this person. Because the way I'm reading the energy, you know this person. It feels like when they think back on your friendship, they realize how much they were growing before whatever conflict happened between you. And they might be feeling stunted in their growth, like spiritually, like really. And they might be asking their higher power, like, what is it? What's going on? Why am I not transmuting? Why am I not like growing spiritually? What is it? And it's whatever shadow work, whatever karmic debt has to do with the friendship between the both of you. And you could be feeling the same thing. You could be watching readings, listening to these readers, especially if they're like shadow work readers, and doing the work, but then at the same time you're like, well, I don't understand this block, or I don't understand what this person has to do with this, and da 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 da. I thought I got over that. I thought this, and that. You thought maybe even cutting them off was what you were supposed to do, but it doesn't feel like that. Even if, like I said, even if it was a conversation that was had and an apology happens, and either you go your separate ways or you continue to try to rebuild, take baby steps, whatever it is for you, it brings a lot of growth. It brings a lot of, it just feels like closer to your higher power is what I'm getting. Some of you, like, you feel like I said before, some of you feel like your spiritual gifts are like not disappearing, but aren't as strong as they were. And I feel like getting into alignment with this energy, clearing out this karmic debt, is going to amplify your spiritual gifts as well. But figuring out whatever this is with this energy is definitely going to put both of you in balance, Empress and Emperor energy, because they both came out in this reading. Like I said, you two are very high frequency, like very much in alignment with each other. Like we already saw the Emperor, we saw the Empress, Hierophant, and we see the High Priestess, then definitely like very, very high frequency. And that happened in the love reading. I was like, if we see the Emperor and the Empress upright, because we had saw the High Priestess and the Hierophant already. And I said, if we see them upright, like, yeah, this is it. And then, yeah, watch that reading if you forgot. In the challenge, we have the Six of Pentacles reverse. Spirit, please clarify that for me. Okay. That one card flipped. Look at that. Judgment. The Magician. So you can have heavy Gemini Virgo in your chart. The Two of Swords and the King of Swords reverse. The Chariot. It's all the major arcanas in this reading. The Chariot, Cancer energy, the Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, the Nine of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Swords. This feels like, with the Magician in the verse of the Seven of Swords, like manipulating, but manipulating yourself. Not even like manipulating each other. Maybe you felt like that. Maybe you felt like this person manipulated you in some way. But I'm not getting that at all. I feel like there was just like a misunderstanding. Something wasn't seen as clearly as it was supposed to be. You guys didn't see each other as clearly, but it feels like you're telling yourself that everything happened this way for a reason, and they could be saying the same. And it just feels like forcing that narrative when it's not really that narrative. And Spirit is saying, how do you come out of that? Because this Judgment is like deep. Like that's like making this huge major like life decision, whether you go left, right, go down the fork in the road, whatever it is. But it's like, do you keep turning a blind eye to the situation and telling yourself like, this is the way it was supposed to be, there's nothing left to be said, there's nothing left to learn, there's always something to learn, we might miss something. But it just feels like the both of you have to think back on like when or however like this went wrong, just reflecting on that, seeing if you missed something, maybe you did misinterpret something, going to a friend who like wasn't like involved in the situation, maybe telling your side and seeing if, and trying to like recall the other person's side and see. Or if you have a mutual friend, like have one person tell their side and then have them talk to the other person who isn't like heavily involved in the situation and see like if there's different perspectives that could be seen. But to move forward with the Chariot there, it's like you have to stop telling yourself like this was how it was supposed to be, or I learned everything. There's aspects of this situation, of this karmic debt, that you have not looked at yet, that you have not acknowledged yet. And it could be both, like I say, it could be both sides. Maybe you were on the side where you saw things clearly. Maybe you were on the side where you were confused as to why certain things happened in this relationship, in this friendship. And they were the ones in like La La Land or deeply in ego, who knows, you know? Or maybe that it was like a time period for you where you just misinterpreted or misunderstood that person and you blocked and you walked away. What was it that you missed in that? Because there's something there that still needs to be healed. And there's definitely, with the Five of Pentacles to the Ace of Wands reverse, there's definitely like a delayed, the Wheel of Fortune, and then the Emperor's behind that. um, there's something delayed here, an opportunity, a huge blessing, because we did see the Ace of Pentacles. There's a block here until you figure this out, until you learn how to give to this in a healthy, not situation, but just in a healthy way. Yeah, there's something that is still needing to be learned about whatever you went through with this person. And even if you never talk to them again, there's something that you have to reflect back on, journal on. If you journaled about it, go back in your old journals and see what you wrote. Go back to this time and try to see like maybe where you went wrong, where it went wrong, like what you might not have been acknowledged about it. Like something still needs to be learned. And then that block is going to be lifted. But I do feel like a conversation and an apology is going to happen. I do. But there's something that you still have to give to in this, that you and the other person are telling yourselves like, you got over it, you learned the lesson, it's nothing else to do. There's something else to do. And you have to learn how to pour into yourself and give to yourself in that situation. For some of you, it's just speaking a truth, whether it's to this person or to yourself, and just how you handle this situation is what I'm getting. So you can't keep turning a blind eye. You can't keep telling yourself or manipulating yourself into thinking a certain narrative, because the narrative isn't completely correct, and what spirit is wanting you to see. Like I said, I keep breaking on the page of stories. There's something that you need to learn from this, and how you're supposed to transmit that energy into how you previously thought you were supposed to, because you were misinterpreting the signs. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles is still something that you have to work through. And the potential, we have the Queen of Wands reverse. Please clarify that for me. Ace of Wands, Nine of Swords, the Queen of Wands to the Queen of Wands reverse. Chariot, Queen of Wands, the Six of Wands, Six of Swords, Six of Wands, the Tower, the Hierophant, the Queen of Cups. It feels like you're still, or you both, but I'm just going to say you collective, are trying to figure out the best approach. I don't feel like if a conversation is gonna happen, it might not be happening anytime soon, because there's still some learning and some growth that needs to happen. But the narrative is starting to change in your head with the Nine of Swords in reverse. I don't know what the delay is exactly with that Ace of Wands in reverse, because I'm not getting like rejection. I know like the Ace of Wands in reverse is a rejection. For me, it feels like a delay. And it's because you still have to learn something about this situation. And I think you're starting to wake up to the fact that that might be the underlying like reason why something is delayed or isn't manifesting, or whatever it is. A situation isn't prospering. and you're realizing like, okay, there's still something left to learn here. And that could be for both of you as well. Waking up to this is like, how do I move forward and move on and step more into what spirit wants from me in this situation? How do I get out of that lack mentality? How do I get, yeah, the star. How do I step into alignment to get into my highest timeline as I learn this lesson? Yeah, because there's a delay, the Fool in the reverse. And then we broke on the Queen of Cups originally. Like, there's so much love, there's so much emotions, there's so much spiritual intelligence here. And it just feels like once you really get in your bag about this, like once you really really set your intention and like doing this last bit of shadow work, like I know I don't have a devil here, right? And I feel like because there's no devil, because there's acknowledgement, there's a change of perspective, because we have the hangman here of how to open up and pour love into this in whatever way it's supposed to be. The conversation might not be had for a while, but it feels like collective, like you're checking your ego at the door, or the other person is, or vice versa. You guys are a mirror for each other. So it really is like your higher self and your ego just kind of like trying to find that balance. And for me, with the Page of Pentacles, this is just like one more like small thing within this huge lesson within this karmic deck that you just need to focus in on and just like get it rolling, because it feels like a big part of this karmic lesson, of this karmic debt, has been learned. It's just like one more thing, and it may have to do with the emotional side of how you open up your heart, how like speaking your truth from your heart. It could even be like when you have this conversation with this person, don't come like from your ego. Don't come at them with so much malice. Like, don't come at them like, well, you did this and this is why this has happened and da 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 da. It might just be that you're meant to look at this from a place of love, like the depths of your soul, in a very healthy way, to be like, okay, it did hurt me, but I understand from this point of view or this perspective, and this is what I take away from it. It might just have to be having this conversation from a loving place, to remember that once upon a time, like, you and this energy did get along really well, and trying to remember that as you talk to them. That could be the lesson as well. But I feel like it shouldn't be harsh when you talk to this person. It might want to be, depending on how the fallout was, depending on how things went, but it just feels like just like a lot of misunderstanding, and really just having to talk very calmly to one another. And then I think once that happens, whenever the universe allows that to happen for you, whatever delays, blocks that you might have been feeling will be lifted. Especially when it comes to your spiritual practices. Like, you might have done cleanses and everything and you couldn't figure out what it was. And it has something to do with this energy in this reading today. Advice for the collective. Thank you for all your messages so far. Advice for the collective. The Star, Aquarius energy. The Six of... I keep wanting to say the Six of Wands. The Six of Swords. The Queen of Swords. Page of Swords. Look at that. The King and Queen of Swords and the Magician. The Seven of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and then the King of Pentacles. The Eight of Swords. It feels like there has been so much confusion, illusion, misunderstanding, misinterpretations in this whole thing, right? And with the king and the queen of swords coming out together, I feel like there's a lot of clarity and truth happening. I very much feel like very enlightened energy happening. It's gonna be to the point where like we have the star to the magician, which is just like amazing. But I feel like so much truth is going to be spoken after so much confusion. Illusion is what I'm getting mostly with the Seven of Cups. It feels like Spirit is saying a lot of healing is going to come from this once you guys really move on, move forward, and having this very clear, concise, it feels like energy. Yeah. This was a long time coming, Knight of Pentacles. For a situation that caused a lot of pause, indecision, heartbreak. It feels like two people who used to be like very spiritual aligned that always had beautiful new beginnings coming in, and then all of a sudden it just like, yeah, thought Pentacles, there was a block. And now it feels like everything is coming to light. All the truth is going to be spoken after so much like being in your head, like I said, confusion with the Eight of Swords. I feel like repeated lessons, something. Yeah. There's definitely going to be an apology happening. There's going to be a lot of growth, mastering this lesson, and stepping into true alignment with the star coming out first. So just hang on, collective. Like, things are going to clear up if this reading resonated with you. Like, everything is going to become clear. I don't know when, but it's going to become clear. It feels like it's still going to be a little bit because there's still something to learn, but it feels like you're going to learn it. And your advice, and then you can finally move on from the situation and continue to grow and learn. All right, I'm about to get to oracles. So if oracles are not your thing, I will see you in the next reading. Oracle of advice for the collective. Advice for the collective for this energy. Thank you. We have star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. Okay, star bathing is 104. Those numbers could resonate for you. The stars are constantly showering emanations onto the crystalline grid of the Earth. When things are imbalanced, the planet also sends information back up to the stars. Many starseeds have come to Earth at this time to help shift the planet vibrationally, to activate the ancient codes of wisdom that humanity has forgotten. And all of the information is stored in the crystalline grid. If you pull this card, you may be being called to begin working with the stars in the crystalline grid of the Earth. Some people believe that the crystalline grid of the Earth anchors divine cosmic frequencies onto the planet. You may be guided to journey to a particular place on Earth to unlock these cosmic codes with your presence. Okay, let me see. This card is commonly arises. This card commonly arises because you're here to connect with the crystalline grid of the Earth, either in your hometown or by traveling to other places without quite knowing why. It also can mean that your light body is being activated. If this resonates, take things extra slow in order to integrate this change of vibration. And then we have Starseed activation. Place your hand on your heart, collective. I open myself up to receive the wisdom of the crystalline grid beneath me. May the stars and the earth inform and heal me, and as they do, may it heal the earth too. I feel like if it's not like you two traveling to the same place because of like frequency energy, this also means that for me, the intuitive message that I'm getting is that you two are so high vibrational that it helps shift the frequency of the earth, because your friendship is very like very up there, very, like I said, this person is a part of your soul tribe. So whatever separated you, it could have just been like I said, karmic lessons, but also like other people being in your ears. Like I hear that as well, like lower frequency people that needed to be cut off. But it feels like the both of you are so high frequency that it could definitely be like energies around you not even understanding your friendship or understanding why you two are so close. Because I'm definitely seeing it. I did pull my past life cards. I'm definitely seeing like two like high priestess like friends, just very joint at the hip, and people not understanding or getting your friendship, and other people being jealous of your friendship. It could definitely be something like that. But you two are very high vibrational, especially when you're together, especially when you work together. Advice for the collective. It's time to take action, Aries energy. Take time to breathe out. Step out of your comfort zone. The answers you need are coming. Don't let your past hold you back. And we have South and North Node. So some of you might need to look at both of those in your chart, especially your South Node, because your South Node is, I believe, about the karmic debt that you have to fulfill in this life, and that might be playing a part in it. Your commitment is being tested, and then a new start is coming on the bottom of the deck. Any energy on past life healing? Thank you. So we have health. Communal living. Have Asia. Celtic. Atlantis. Didn't I say that in the beginning? I freaking did. Because I kept seeing it. We have farm and we have angels. I saw unrequited love on the break. This is giving, to me, two beautiful earth angels, healers, who took a good care of each other. It feels like someone did try to get in between you two. Someone who loved you like both, or like always felt like a third wheel almost. And I don't know if that's what happened in this life. Like I don't know if that energy followed you here. It just feels like because of how joint at the hip that you two have been in the lifetimes that you have had, because I'm getting like Celtic and Atlantis and Asia as like multiple lifetimes. I'm not getting, same lifetime. I'm getting like as you live those lifetimes, as you two were like these beautiful, amazing, just like light workers, earth angels, whatever you want to say. It just feels like there was always something trying to get in between you two, whether it was your own mind, other people, people who didn't understand you both. They might not even have saw like your friendship, your energy as healthy, because health came out first. It feels like one lifetime one of you was very ill and you just took care of each other, but that's not super heavy, but I do feel that you two have spent a lot of lifetimes helping the collective energy become high vibrational. You guys have had beautiful friendships for lifetimes. And it just feels like you're supposed to continue to work together. If you could get past whatever this work that needs to be done within self, to also help this friendship grow and bring acknowledgement to what that shadow work is within yourselves and within each other to help it grow. Advice. That was fast. Yeah, nourish. Number 23. Healing. Number 5. And then inward revolution. Yeah. Working on the insides. Healing, growth is what needs to be done at this time for self and for this friendship. Advice for the collective. We have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning, and then we have heart-to-heart conversation. I honestly discuss your feelings for it. I'm telling you. Deception. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. But I just feel like that was just like a misunderstanding. Religious factors as your love life is influenced. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing, spiritual path. Maybe you two just didn't see eye to eye on your spirituality this lifetime. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. Yeah. Codependency came out. Maybe you two were too, just like too involved with each other. Very dependent, probably. So yeah, for yourself, it's time to take back control of your life. And then we have wedding. This situation involves marriage and then worth the wait. Divine timing is at work in your love life. For me, I read this as self-love when I do generals. But I do feel like this is, like I said, multiple lifetimes, very high frequency, and I feel like it's gonna work out. I do. I keep seeing that unrequited love though. I hope one of you guys aren't like in love with each other. I feel like that's an energy outside of this friendship. Who was jealous of what you guys had. But that's not like a super heavy energy because it didn't really come out. Maybe you guys acknowledged that already, Advice for the collective. Okay, so we have follow the stream, dedication, trust, future rivers, and oceans. Follow the stream is 84, and we are in the month of August, so maybe think back to this time, like last year, or maybe even this year, of what you were going through. Maybe that's like a time to reflect back on. If you have a journal entry from like this year or last year on this date, maybe see if that's still something that's like heavy on your heart, or just see like if you learned a lesson completely from that time. Okay. Streams can begin as small trickles and end up as immense rivers and vast oceans. They've been providing humanity with sustenance since we first appeared on this planet. Follow the stream and trust that one day it'll carry you to the rivers and the oceans of your future. You're being called to surrender to the current of the waters that you're in, to trust the path you're walking, and to keep showing up day after day to what you're building. What might seem like a small trickle right now holds the promise of becoming river or ocean in the world. Keep putting one foot in front of the other and trust your path. This is a card of trust. You may not yet be able to see the future outcome, or perhaps you're not quite sure how to get where you're going. On the journey, there will always be many steps that requires faith. This may be one of them. You're being encouraged to find that faith, to keep facing your true north, to follow the stream and let it carry you. So commit to your passions and be dedicated to what you're creating. Keep showing up day after day. If you do, before you know it, you'll have created something huge. simply by showing up in small, consistent ways. If you trust your path, what would you do? Advice for the collective. Thank you. A leap of faith. It is safe to make the move you're considering. Vulnerability. You can be completely open with this person. Go slow. Take time and get to know each other. Retreat. Time alone or in nature will help you recharge. We have balance. One person is giving too much in this relationship, and then we have apology. You can expect the apology you want to hear. And then we have stability. This relationship can stand the test of time. I'm telling you, this is a beautiful friendship. It could have been that one of you were overgiving in some way, shape, or form. It feels very spiritual. Like, just overextending yourself just because of how much you cared about this person, and maybe not focusing on your spiritual abilities, your spiritual light. Maybe one of you were just like more awakened than the other, or like more like one step ahead of the other person, and just like, I don't know, like it might have taken you a little bit to learn something versus like them, or vice versa, to learn something and to get a spiritual lesson out the way. And I don't know, maybe you just put this person on too much of a pedestal as well. Like, you guys balance each other out, like I said, yin and yang energy. But don't put others above yourself. No matter how much you care about them and love them, there might have been a boundary that needed to be set between the two of you, which might have caused a separation. Advice for the collective. Karmic board clearing. Energetic clearing. Rewrite your story. Live your truth. Okay, so that was number 100. Feeling from like August to October, yeah. Like, maybe you went through something. Just look back at your like journal entries from that time period. See what you were writing down. Like August to October of last year. What did that look like for you? If you are being overwhelmed by a traumatic memory or a painful event, no, it's because that old energy is no longer serving you, and that your spirit is calling for it to be released. This card comes to you at a time when you're ready to surrender old ways of being in old stories. Know that receiving this message means that your energetic self has been taken to the karmic board during sleep or meditation, so that your light body can be cleared of all karmic blockages and stories. All fears, phobias, challenges with partners and relationships, and feeling of being misunderstood are being released now. You're ready to move forward. I'm telling you, this is coming to a close. It is coming to a close. Advice for the collective. Okay, so we have health. I honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. We have balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into the world, and I do so without judgment. I have purpose. I know that I know what I am here to do. Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. We have abundance. I'm a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in my physical reality. We have growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. And then we have judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique challenges and paths. Then we have indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of my life. That's a lot of beautiful energy, I'm not gonna lie. The indecision might be just like making that choice to reach out to this person, but there's a lot of growth here. And I'm just getting like emotional health because we have health out here twice. It feels like a lot of emotional health as well. Balance, cleanse, advice for the collective. Thank you. We have To Be Fair, number 38. So we have balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. Life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing, yet over time they strike a balance. You move from stasis to doing, from discovering to loving to letting go, and to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states. You will always elicit, I don't know what that says, back and forth between doing and being. It's not illicit though. If you are not content with where you are at this moment, remember that all experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause, there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. Yeah, you guys are definitely coming back to a state of balance. Advice for the collective. Thank you. Ask for help from others. Take action. Reconsider. If you believe. Forgiveness. And then we have within the next few months, and then we have be assertive on the bottom. Affirmation of advice for the collective. Spirit, thank you for all your messages today. Affirmation of advice for the collective. Thank you. I trust my inner wisdom and knowledge to guide me in making the right decision. I have everything I need within me. All right, collective. If this reading resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate every single one of you for being here with me and making it to the end. If you feel called to book a reading with me, like I said in the beginning, all that information is in the description box below. You guys stay safe. You guys stay blessed. And I will see you in the next reading.